Welcome to the weekend edition of the Undisputed podcast. I'm your host, Joy Taylor. On today's podcast, we feature all of the best segments from this week's slate of Undisputed with in-depth interviews and discussions. We have a lot to talk about heading into Monday. Skip, Shannon, let's get to it. LeBron went off last night, scoring 20 points in the first quarter and 46 total in the Cavs win. The series is now tied 1-1, but LeBron scored nearly half of the team's 100 points. Tyronn Lue addressed that after the game. Let's take a listen.
Do you need to see more out of Rodney and
I need
Clarkson?
to see more out of a lot of guys. Yeah. I think they'll get more and more comfortable. But like I said before, just having LeBron and Caleb set the tone early, I think, would open it up for a lot of those guys. But they see what it takes. You know, if you want to be champions, if you want to, go back to the NBA Finals, teams are going to come after us. And we've had a lot of first-round tough matchups, the whole 4 years I've been here. So it hasn't been easy, and they have to understand that. And we just got to be ready to get into the fight.
We're joined by Rob Parker. Welcome, Rob. Good morning.
What's happening? Good morning.
Rob, how much help does LeBron need?
There's not enough help. There's just...
so you for real?
I'm for real. There's just not enough. This is what I've been talking about. When you had the parade after the trade deadline about all these guys, and he looked around. I would have shot 12 times in the first quarter if I looked around and Kyrie wasn't on the court, and I looked around and said, should I pass it to that dude over there, or should I just do it myself? So I get why LeBron is going to do. He's probably going to score 40 points a night in order to keep his team
in the ball game.
In contention to try to get to the finals, just to lose again. He'll do. Remember, in the finals, he had a triple-double. He had to score average a triple-double.
32, 10, and 10.
Just for them to get swept in 5 games. But now he's going to have to. It was
sweep
5 games. No, a 5-game sweep. Now he's going to have to do what he's doing the whole way through. These guys, same thing. You think maybe he thought, maybe I shouldn't have got rid of Dwayne Wade so quickly. Dwayne Wade had 28 points the other night. I bet you he would feel better with Dwayne Wade as a guy who's been there, done that, even at his age, than Hood and Hill and Clarkson and Nance. These guys are not going to get you anywhere. They're nice role players, but where's his other guy? Mm-hmm. It ain't Love.
Well, it should be.
It ain't Korver. It's not, but it's not. So, Skip, be ready. Here we go with all the excuses again.
You just gave them.
LeBron doesn't have anybody. I'm just telling you.
You just said he doesn't have enough.
But he endorsed all of this. He was the one who didn't like the group that he had. He's the one who quit playing in December and stood around and didn't want to play, made the team look bad so that they had to panic.
Oh, he made the team look bad.
Yeah, he did. His plus-minus was awful. And all I'm saying is he would have been better off with some of those more experienced guys this time of the year than role players who have never been there, Shannon. This is what he signed up for. I don't want to hear any belly aching from LeBron. Go out there, score 40, 50 points a night, barely win 3 points to Indiana Pacers at home.
Rob, you arguing against your own argument.
I'm not. I'm just telling you that this is what he signed up for, so I don't want to hear it.
You can't use the word excuse. You're saying he has legitimate
excuse,
reasons.
but then said, I don't want to hear the excuse.
But this is what we're going to hear. But I'm just saying this is what he signed up for when they made all those
You're
deals.
saying he legitimately does not have enough help.
I don't see it. They could say, you want these guys to do more. They're not going to.
How about they do
They
the
can't
average?
be better players than they
How about
really
we get
are.
the average, Skip? How about we get the average? LeBron, how much help does LeBron need? More than he's getting. Skip, I'm going to tell you a true story. My grandfather gave my brother and I $1 to wash his truck. So I'm doing the tires, my brother, he's washing it. My grandfather comes out there and looks at it. He looks at the truck, he looks at us. He say, anything is better than nothing, but you two fellas are real close to nothing. My brother looks at me, I look at him, we utter to ourselves, oh, we nothing, huh? So anything is better than nothing, but this cash that he got, real close to nothing.
Did your grandfather get his $2 back?
No, he ain't getting nothing back. Skip, Jeff Green was averaging 11 points a game this season. What is he averaging now? 1. Jordan Clarkson was averaging 12 since he got to Cleveland. What's he averaging now? 4. Rodney Hood was averaging 11 points since he arrived in Cleveland. He's averaging 7.
Shannon.
Kevin Love averaging 18 points a game. Now he's giving you 12 on 33% shooting. I don't need you to be great.
Shannon.
I just give me your average.
Is this a regular season of meaningless games where you're playing these terrible teams that are below 500, or is this the playoffs now?
It's the playoffs.
Okay, so that's not going to be the same average. Most of those players are not going to average what they average during the regular season in meaningless games.
Okay,
That doesn't happen.
How about LeBron?
It doesn't happen.
How about LeBron?
LeBron's different. He's a great player. I'm talking about the average Joe.
Well, you Skip. I mean, Rob, you can't say they're average and then turn around and say, well, LeBron, I don't want to hear anything about it. You arguing against your argument.
No, I'm not. All I'm saying
Dude, you can't say my only. Skip just said, you said he has an excuse, but then in the same breath you said he can't use that as an excuse.
But the idea that you're expecting, or Tyronn Lue is saying, he's expecting more from these guys.
Not more.
I don't. What more?
Skip,
I don't.
Skip, you don't mean to tell me you can't expect more than 1 point for Jeff Green?
Well, come on, I don't mean 1 point.
Okay.
But they're not going to.
So now to you, Shannon.
Yes.
Which team did you pick to win the NBA title this year?
Cleveland.
Because?
LeBron, and I thought Kevin Love would be.
Okay. Do you have excuses or no excuses? You're telling me they're not good enough to win the championship, but you picked them to win the championship.
But you saw them play.
I thought they would go. First of all, I thought Isaiah was healthy. Okay.
I'm talking about going into the playoffs.
Yeah,
you still loved him.
Yeah, I did. I still do. But I can't love what I'm seeing, Skip. It's just like what you saw with Russ. You know, Carmelo, Russ, and Paul George playing like that, they can't win. But if they play like the way you're capable, that's all we're asking. We're not asking Jeff Green to go to a 20-point night score. We're not asking JR to be a 15-point a night score. How about just give us what you've done since you've been in Cleveland? That's all we ask.
I thought Kyle Korver and J.R. Smith played really big last night. Yeah. I thought LeBron did get a lot of help from those two.
J.R. Smith defensively, he did some stuff.
He did a lot defensively. I thought the whole team cranked it up defensively to a level I had not seen all year. Now, that was mostly in the first quarter.
Right.
But they played hard on defense all night. What's the final score? 197. So they held them to 97. What was it?
98.
98. So, again, Indiana plays slow for the most part, but they didn't have Oladipo for the whole first quarter. Remember, he had to sit 11 I wouldn't have sat him that long, but he sat 11 minutes of the first quarter, and then they came back with Oladipo, quarter 2, 3, and 4, and guess who won those quarters? Indiana won all 3 quarters, barely, but they won them, which is why they crept back into the game, and Oladipo winds up with a wide-open 3 to tie the game with 27 seconds left, and he missed it badly. So it came down to that shot by that guy. He won game 1 because he just took over game 1. Right. In this one, he didn't play all that well in. So we get back to help. Kyle Korver played his butt off last night.
Made some great defensive plays.
And he made 4 threes, and they're those kind where it barely even touches his hands, and it's just gone, and it's just clean as a whistle. And you say, that's just too good, man. And he was flying on defense, and I don't think he can defend anybody, but he tries hard.
Yeah, he does.
Right?
He does. He's an effort guy. Stripped Miles Turner.
He did.
He got a timeout on one, diving on the floor, took some charges. But the thing is that all you're not asking the guys to not do anything that you haven't seen them do already.
I got it, but it's the difference between
what about Kevin Love? Okay, tell me about Kevin Love.
All right, Kevin Love can play better. He's a veteran guy. I got that. And if that's his number 2 guy, LeBron's going to have to score 40 or 50 points to win.
He scored
Kyrie's 28 points are missing.
Yeah, Rob, he scored 46, and Victor Oladipo missed a wide-open 3 to tie the game. Think about it. Let that sink in. 46, 12, and 5. That's what he scored. And he won the game by 3 points.
Okay, but the key number is not the first number or the second number. It's your third number, which is 5.
Exactly.
Which could be 12, right? Assists.
Yes.
Nope. And he's taken the scoring load up on his own shoulders. Are they converting some of his passes? They were not. But Kyle was. Kyle Korver, he was fourth Korver, man.
I mean, you look at it, I'm like, come on. I'm like Rodney Hood. I know you're better than that.
Do you?
Jeff Green, I know because I've seen it. I've seen it.
Yeah, you need Jeff Green to play because he's been there. He knows this.
But some of these other guys in the trade, come on, Skip, would you acknowledge that?
I got it. Because this stage is big and bright, and you're playing with the beast of the East. And when he walks in the locker room before these games, his whole aura is different.
Yes.
This is real. This is for this is for all the money.
Yes.
You know, we're just pushing all the chips to the middle of the table. Now it's real. Jordan Clarkson's looking around like, what? You mean this is like different than those?
He was on the
games?
Lakers when they weren't going to the playoffs or playing in any big. How many big games do you think he played in?
No, Rodney Hood played in a playoff series last year, the first round against the Clippers.
Nance.
But Skip, you remember how they were playing? They go to Boston.
Yep.
And they're playing. They go to OKC.
They destroyed them.
Yeah.
You're talking about the first 2 games after the trade where everybody wants to when you get traded away, you want to show people
euphoria.
There is. There's hey, they got rid of me. I'm going to come out and show them what they missed, and you played much better than you really do. I get it, but it was the first 2 games.
I just want them to just give me your average. Okay. I don't want you to do anything. I don't want Jeff Green to give me 17 a night.
Okay.
I don't want Clarkson to give me 20 a night. I don't want Rodney Hood to give me. Just give your average.
So we have not mentioned one player who played 0 minutes last night, and he might be an emotional wreck right now. I don't know because he's been going through a lot of stuff.
What are you going through?
I don't know.
You know.
I know what it is, and I don't even want to get into it because I don't care about it. But usually these guys can leave that outside the arena, and this is their sanctuary, and they can come in and play. I have seen Tristan Thompson play at extremely high levels in huge NBA Finals games. And I don't know how he got pushed all the way into the doghouse at the end of the bench. He played 0 last night. You don't think he could contribute some?
He going through something right now, Skip.
Okay.
That's a lot of weight.
I know, but a lot of guys go through stuff.
How'd that work out for Tiger? When he went through what he went through publicly. A lot of guys go through things.
Yeah, but that was...
But here's the thing.
That was a disaster. That was just like...
Skip! The man girlfriend about to deliver a baby. And they're running all this stuff on every news station in America. You don't think that's messing with his psyche?
But sometimes it's a place to get away and just do what you do and block that out for 48 minutes and just go crazy.
He got in the game in Cleveland, they booed him. They asked him, where's Chloe? Come on, Skip. How that man supposed to handle that?
Just play. Just fight back.
Block it out.
Yeah.
How about Tiger? Why Tiger can't block it out?
It's an individual sport.
You're right.
The pressure that's on Tiger Woods is not on Tristan Thompson.
They're not yelling, Tiger. Let's go to Perkins.
Remember, Tiger went to rehab. Remember that? He went away for like 3 months. And then he had to do a mea culpa press conference. Come on.
Well, it must have didn't work.
And
that girl got a lawsuit.
And by the way, Tiger had like 29 different injuries, right?
Yeah.
Okay, well, Tristan's, I'm pretty sure he's 100% healthy, I think.
I think he had 29 different partners, too.
Oh, there you go. Look at you. You keep it sad. You keep it.
Okay, you my bad, Skip. Yeah. But seriously, Skip,
you got a roster over there?
I'll agree. I'm surprised that Double T is not playing more meaningful minutes than what he's played.
Meaningful?
How about
any?
He played one, but that wasn't meaningful because that was mop-up duty, Skip.
No, 0. He played. He didn't. He never got in.
But remember, game 1, he came in when the game was out of hand.
Yeah, like 2 minutes.
Where's Jetty? We were putting Jetty on the All-Star
Jetty,
for a while.
yeah,
he played
Jetty
none. You know what? Jetty comes in. He's fearless.
Return of the Jedi.
Yeah, let's have him.
We got jettison.
Rob, thanks for joining us. No mercy. Hey guys, Joy Taylor here. Before we get back to the Undisputed podcast, I want to tell you about Toyo Tires. UFC fighters are tough. You know what else is tough? Toyo Tires. That's why Toyo has been a proud sponsor of the UFC. Just like UFC fighters, Toyo Tires are built for battle. It's an all-or-nothing philosophy. Durability, aggressive design, on- and off-road capabilities, yes to all of them. Living life on the highway? Toyo has you covered. Spending some serious time off-road? They have a tire for that too. No matter what you drive, Toyo has what you need, and frankly, these tires just look cool. Trust me, nothing ruins your day faster than being stranded on the side of the road with a flat tire. Any vehicle, every terrain, all or nothing. The next time you need tires, ask for Toyo. To experience more, visit toyotires.com/UFC. That's TOYO tires.com/UFC. Now let's get back to the show. No mercy. Tom Brady is making $14 million this season and has 2 years left on his current contract. NFL Network reported yesterday that Brady is interested in a new deal before the season starts. But last week, Robert Kraft was asked about Brady's contract and said, quote, neither side has an issue with it. If it becomes an issue, we'll deal with it. Shannon, how much is Brady underpaid?
Well, clearly he's underpaid. And based on his performance and what he's accomplished, he should be fairly compensated for it. But he's underpaid by his own choice. He chose to take less money. and while that works well because they're able to get other pieces, his teammates don't like that so much. Because when you pay that guy less than market value, how do anyone else on that team get market value? You see, Skip, max dollars is...
Somebody has to get paid something, right?
But they're not getting paid market value.
Yeah.
Anytime you want market value, you're not getting it from them because remember Brandon Cooks, they try to get a long-term deal. He's looking at all these salaries out there, and they're like, nah, we can't go there. We're going to trade you. Jamie Collins wanted market value. Nah, we can't give you that, bro. We got to trade you.
Yep.
And that's what they're doing. Skip, he chose to take less money. Also, it's about timing. Big dollars, I mean, you're not going to be the highest paid, Skip, if you keep renegotiating your contract with 2 years left on it. Kirk Cousins got this deal for the simple fact he was totally free. We don't normally see quarterbacks uninjured, under the age of 30, on the open market. Normally, it comes with an attachment. Exclusive first tenders. You got to give up 2 first-round picks. Mm-hmm. Kirk Cousins, under 30, was totally free. Mm-hmm. And I get it, Tom. And you chose to give them. I can't go to Fox like, look, you know what, Shannon, this is what we can pay. No, don't give me that. Won't you give the wardrobe? Won't you give give makeup? Won't you give the camera crew? Give them a little extra money. I'm good. Mm-hmm. And then I'm like, well, hold on, I won't. Whoa, I'm underpaid. Shannon, we told you this is what we were willing to give you, and you told us to go ahead and not to give you that and play it. I can't be mad. Tom Brady could take less than market value because Tom Brady has something no other professional athlete has. He has a wife that's worth $300-400 million. Most people's wives worth $30,000 because they ain't working. Most professional athletes of Tom Brady's caliber, their wives are not working, Skip. Mm-hmm. I'm sorry to tell you. And commend those, you do how you do. But he has a luxury that very few professional athletes have. So he was willing to take less money.
Well, there are those athletes who might not have a wife worth $360 million.
Yeah.
But there are certain athletes who off the court or the field can make $300 million.
Well, he's made $197 million in his career. It's like Michael Jordan, Skip. We know Michael was underpaid. But he said, give me this, go get Dennis Rodman. Give me this and get me Harper. Give me this and give me guys around so we can win. But when it came time, his last 2 years, Skip, what'd he get? $33 million, $38 million, $40 million. 20 years ago, it was like 50, 60 almost now probably. So is he underpaid? Yes, but it's by his own doing.
Mm-hmm. Do I think this is why he missed the team conditioning sessions?
No.
Nope, I do not think that. And by the way, the sacrifice that he does make, did it allow Belichick to go into last year's free agent market and acquire the best cornerback on the market, Stephon Gilmore, and pay him a ton of money?
Yes.
Okay, it did, right? So I admire him for doing this. What I don't know is now we're back to where we've been talking about for the last 2-3 weeks here on this show. How does Tom Brady feel about what's happening money-wise with him right now, that his coach sort of showed his cards that he wanted to go with Jimmy Garoppolo next year? Mm-hmm. How would that make Tom feel? Will that make him want to go to Robert Kraft and say, you know, I've been through a lot here and I've given you a lot, and guess what? He is coming off a year in which he is the reigning MVP. He pulled off yet another rather miraculous fourth-quarter comeback at the AFC Championship game against Saxonville, and then he threw for the most yards ever in a playoff game in the Super Bowl, 505 yards. Couldn't he go to Robert Kraft now and say, hey, look, the coach has turned on me. Maybe I deserve a little more for this.
And maybe this is at the crux of it. Skip, I don't mind being underpaid if I think you value me.
Yeah. Exactly.
Now, all of a sudden, I'm taking less money, and come to find out that I'm taking less money so you can build this team, and come to find out, you won't try to get rid of me.
Yep.
Oh, no, you need to pay me. As a matter of fact, I want 10%. I'm like the IRS. Tom Brady said, I'm IRS. You've been underpaying me for the last 18 years. So that compound interest, I want it out. So give me $60 million right now at the time I signed this contract. And I'm going to play for another, I don't know, maybe year. Because y'all owe me. Because I don't appreciate the way somebody, you know who, Mr. Kraft, I ain't going to call his name, Coach Belichick, been treating me over the last year. I don't like it.
That is correct. So Tom Brady is scheduled in just cash earning to make next year $15 million. That's what he's scheduled to make, and just pure what he'll get next year in cash earning.
Right.
That's tied for 18th among NFL quarterbacks. And guess who's at the top of that list next year? Jimmy Garoppolo. at 42.6.
Yeah.
42.6 down to 15 for Tom Brady.
For this many 7 starts.
7 starts. And Jimmy G was your coach's next to Tom Brady,
Tom
right?
Brady said, hold on. I got 8 Super Bowl starts. Yeah. He got 7 regular season starts. Yeah. And that dude going to make 27 million more than me.
Just next year.
No.
Jimmy G's going to make 42.6 in pure cash. Really?
Hey, Tom Brady on FaceTime right now. You know I know what Jimmy making, Mr. Kraft.
No, he said daddy.
Oh, yeah, he probably called him daddy. Daddy, I need a raise. Because the mean stepfather, Tom Brady. But that's what it Skip.
Look, at some point it comes down to principle.
Yeah.
I'm the reigning MVP, and the coach doesn't love me, so, gee, Mr. Kraft, forget about what his wife makes. Just on the principle of who he is as a football player, does he deserve more than $15 million next year? I'd say everybody would agree with that.
I do not believe Tom Brady would have ever had a problem with his salary. And it still might not be a problem, Skip. We're just speaking hypothetically here. But the fact that he knows that Coach Belichick is trying to remove him after being underpaid for the last 15, 16 years, that probably rubs you the wrong way. Because it's basically saying, after all what I've done, I've taken less money time and time again, and you show me this is what you think of me at the end?
Yep.
So, okay.
I
need it.
So I've always commended Tom Brady for being noble in his pursuit of more help, acquiring more talent around him. Not that they're that talented of a football team, but even on defense, allowing Belichick to have some salary cap room to roam to acquire some more talent on defense. So now let's get back to the best player on the planet in basketball, LeBron James. He insists on max. I want the super max.
Yeah.
I want this year to make $33.3 million. Okay, so on the one hand, obviously LeBron is the face of the entire NBA, and he is responsible for the plights of all of his brothers on all the other teams.
Correct.
So they all say, you go ahead and take it because you're just going to up the ante for all of us. Right?
Right.
Okay, so I get that. But then out of the other side of the mouth comes, I don't have enough help. Or Tyronn Lue saying last night, I need more help from the help. Right.
Okay.
But
here's the thing, though, Skip. For me, it's not LeBron James's. It's not Tom Brady's job to try to manage the cap. Because it's not like when you save money from me, you pass that savings on to the consumer. Those tickets are still going up. The concessions are still going up. So you increase ticket price, you increase concession price, but you want to suppress my earning power. No, that's not how it's going to work. You worry about getting the cap. You worry about getting the players. Give me all my money. Because guess what? I guarantee you not one professional sports franchise cut deals to sponsors. They don't say, you know what? Y'all been with us for 20 years. I'm going to cut y'all an old sweetheart deal. You think they do that, Skip? They want all their money. NFL, you know what? Fox ought to go to the NFL and say, you know what? We've been in business since 1994. I think y'all need to cut us some slack. What you think Roger Goodell going to say, Skip?
Nothing. So, back to the sport of basketball. Did you blame or applaud my man Tim Duncan back in 2013 for taking, I don't know, at least half of what he was worth? He took $9.7 million that year, and they should have won the championship, but Ray Allen stole
Bron did.
No, Ray Allen did.
Bron was 8 for 8 in Game 7 with the free throw line.
In that year, Tim Duncan, who was still really playing at a high level, rim protecting, scoring, he made $9.7 million. And then the following year, when they did win the championship against LeBron James, he made $10.4 million. Well, that allowed the Spurs to have the deepest bench in basketball, I thought, which is a bunch of those bench players, Patty Mills, Bellinelli, they're just shooting the heat off the floor, making threes, right? And they're all making some pretty good change on the bench for the Spurs.
Yeah, but I let the team worry about that. You don't count my pockets. I need my money. Because guess what? I got a shelf life. You're going to be in business for the next 30, 40, 100 years. So I need all my money that I'm due while I'm playing, Skip.
Okay, but Tim Duncan took big hometown discounts, and he's got 5 rings to show for it.
Well,
I applaud that.
Bron says, you know what? I might not get but 3. but I'm going to walk away from the NBA with $400 million of their dollars.
Did you just admit he might not get but 3?
That's what he's saying.
Oh.
But he said, he even when he only had 2, he says, I refuse to play for less than max moving forward. So he was if I don't, it's not like I'm not going to try to win 3, 4, 5, 6, but if I don't, I'm not taking less money so you can tell me, oh, this is what we need to do. Figure it out. Dan Gilbert, you got $6 billion. Mickey Arison, you got $5.5 billion. So y'all need to break bread with me.
So what if Dan Gilbert says, LeBron, how much do you make off the court?
Don't count my pockets. How much you make off Quicken Loans? Since it's the #1 rated home loan. Yeah, how much you making, Dan? Get out my pockets. Now, I can make $40 million.
How much does LeBron make off the
A lot.
500 million?
Stop counting that man pockets.
$1 billion?
No, he don't make that kind of money off the court.
Might.
Well, he has a lifetime deal with Nike.
Does he make Giselle money off the court?
Yeah.
He probably does.
Yeah, double Giselle.
I mean,
but that's
every other commercial is LeBron for Sprite.
Sprite. He got Blaze. He got Beats headphones. Why you worried about all that?
I can't help it. I'm bombarded with it.
No, you count that man's pockets.
I am not.
Dan Gilbert, what you got going on? You buying up all the land up in Detroit. You don't hear me saying anything about that, do I?
I see a lot of Quicken Loans.
Yeah, exactly. Oof. So who you think got more money? Dan Gilbert or...
Well, that's not even...
Okay, then, so I need to get some of it.
Dan Gilbert versus Giselle? I don't know.
No, Dan Gilbert versus LeBron.
Yeah.
Because if a man can pay somebody $40 million, how much he worth, Joy? Huh? So I need all that.
Well, yeah, but Dan Gilbert doesn't have a salary cap on how much he can make.
Exactly. Well, I don't got no salary cap either.
Oh, you don't?
No.
It's new LeBron rules?
Well, I tell you what, whatever the salary cap is, I want to be on top. I'll be sitting on top of the cap.
No mercy. Nick Foles is the reigning Super Bowl MVP, but if Carson Wentz is healthy at the beginning of the season, Foles is expected to be back on the bench. The Eagles reportedly had a very high asking price for any trade for Foles, so speculation is they will keep him. Foles expressed his desire to be a starting quarterback, saying, I have such a great relationship with all the personnel decision makers that if there ever does come a day where I am traded or something does happen, it's going to be an open conversation. I don't know what my career holds from here on out. I would love to start again. We're joined by former Pro Bowl linebacker and Super Bowl champion Brian Cox. Welcome back.
Thank you for having me. Good morning to all.
Good morning.
Brian, will this quarterback situation be a problem for the Eagles?
Absolutely not. And I put it this way with respect to Nick Foles. Before he signed with Kansas City, he was ready to retire and go home. And so now the second point is you're playing behind Carson Wentz, who's one of the best up-and-coming stars that this game has seen in quite some time. So you go back to the bench, and the best thing you got for the rest of your life is you got the Philly fans on your side. So whenever you go, you'll never have to pay for another meal. They'll forever be indebted to you. So, no, he should sit his spot. He should sit down and wait because it's a quarterback-friendly system. You know, Doug Peterson was a former teammate of mine. In fact, he won Don Shula's 300 game in Philadelphia. So that was a big thing. Yeah, it's only fitting. So, you know, with Andy Reid and the system, with what he's done with Alex Smith for now going to Mahomes and now Doug Peterson being a prodigy of that era, now coming with Nick Foles and drafting Carson Wentz, they understand how to handle quarterbacks. So for him, I'd sit back, I'd collect my millions of dollars, I'd enjoy my daughter, and I'd say, I don't never have to worry about a concussion because I'm going to be sitting behind Wentz.
Yeah, see, I agree. First of all, I get it. He wants to start. Skip, the guy won the Super Bowl. There are a lot of quarterbacks, great quarterbacks, that's never gotten that opportunity to win that game. And not only did he win, he played well against an all-time great in doing so. And on that night, he was the best quarterback playing in Super Bowl 52.
Right, keep talking.
With that being said, he knows once he returns to Philly and that old right knee of Carson Wentz get healthy, is back to holding the Microsoft Surface he goes. That's his job. So in the meantime, I know you want to start, but we got a job for you to do in the meantime, which is be the backup. And if Wentz gets hurt or he's not able to go, hey, Nick, you're up. But until then, I get he wants to start. And granted, Skip, he won the Super Bowl. What are there to do? But right now, you're on our roster starting. No, that's the only that can come out your mouth. Not start.
Really?
Yeah.
So I think both of you are ignoring the 6'6" elephant in this room that's wearing a big old green jersey named Nick Foles, who once upon a time out of Austin Westlake High School, which is Drew Brees High School, because he could really wing it. They throw that football. And Nick Foles got recruited to play basketball at Baylor and the University of Texas. So he's got a little athletic ability about him. He's got a little pride built up. He was a two-sport star in high school. He was really good in college. And then, boy, right away in pro football, he had a year under Chip Kelly. He threw 27 touchdowns to only 2 interceptions and played well enough against Drew Brees in that playoff game after that year to win it, but Drew Brees took it down the field at the end of the game, and they kicked a walk-off and won barely. But Nick Foles played really well. So Nick Foles, in his career in the National Football League, has, in the regular season, 61 touchdown passes to only 29 interceptions. It's pretty great, I would say. In the playoffs, Nick Foles has thrown 8 touchdown passes to only 1 interception, and it was in the Super Bowl, and it was unlucky because the ball gets tipped up in the air. It was a good throw. Could have been a touchdown. Could have been his 9th touchdown. So Nick Foles just played back-to-back in the NFC Championship game, which you failed to point out. NFC Championship game and the Super Bowl, the 2 back-to-back best quarterback games in the history of the playoffs. I defy you to go find better numbers by one quarterback in those 2 championship games of your conference and of the league, because he went 54 of 76. He completed 71% of his passes in the 2 games for 725 yards, 6 touchdowns, and 1 unlucky interception. That's off the charts great. He outplayed Tom Brady in the Super Bowl. He hung 41 points on the defense coached by the man you love, Bill Belichick. 41 points. And both of you are saying, just sit down and shut up and enjoy the ride, right? Is it really? After all that? That's just crazy.
That high price tag they put on him, if 25 of those other teams thought that with Nick Foles, they would give up 2 first-rounders and not bat an eye because they don't believe he's the NFC Championship game and the Super Bowl quarterback. So they don't believe that.
Two points I'd like to make. One, before Carson Wentz got hurt, he was the leading candidate to be MVP of the league.
Well, that was debatable, but go ahead.
Well,
it was
debatable, but it was a close race nonetheless.
All right.
And then the second thing that I'd say to you would be this. You don't remember the game he played week 15 and 16. That was far from what he did in the playoffs.
So and even the game against Atlanta.
You don't know which guy you're getting. So although you make a lot of good points.
He made one bad throw against Atlanta, but he played pretty. You didn't think
they scored 15 points. They scored 15 points.
I know, but he made the throws that had to be made.
You do realize
the game against a really good team.
Atlanta had the ball first and goal. Had 3 cracks at the end zone.
I don't know.
So that's how close we came. And then what would they have said about Nick Foles? Would he have been out saying, I want to be a starter? No, he'd have been perfectly content.
What did the scoreboard say at the end of the game?
They won.
What did your restaurant do after the game? They let the Eagles come right on in, didn't they?
Yeah.
And then they let them back for the NFC Championship game and then for the Super Bowl.
Oh, yeah, I had all them juicy loosies for everybody in Minnesota.
Cheesesteaks.
Yeah. Look, you and I both know this is a quarterback-driven league. If 20 teams thought Nick Foles was that guy, would they not give up those picks to get him?
Maybe some have offered more than you think.
No, ain't nobody.
Maybe Philly. Maybe Doug Peterson, your old friend. Maybe he's sitting back saying, I don't know, maybe this guy's better than the young guy.
No, he don't think that.
He might think that.
He don't think that.
Wait. Hold on. How many playoff downs has Carson Wentz played in his life?
Skip is on the second year.
He's played none.
Zero.
He's played no playoff.
His second year.
So you're going to go back, you're going to give him his job back, and you got a guy who just lit up the whole playoffs. And you're going to say, sit on the bench with your Microsoft and enjoy your dog.
Whoa. How about this here? Hold on. Because how about this here? When Tom Brady got hurt in the Pittsburgh in the AFC Championship game, why did Coach Belichick go back to him? Why did they keep Drew Brees in there? I mean, Drew Bledsoe.
That was a tough call.
It wasn't no tough call. It was easy.
And I was on that team. But here's the thing that I will say. Again, the point is the guy was ready to walk away from football. So how committed is he to it? And if the season wouldn't have ended in the Super Bowl, would he still be playing football? To me, you got to go to a guy that, how many times was Nick Foles in the MVP conversation, even under Chip Kelly? He wasn't. Carson Wentz is the real deal, and you got to ride that guy out.
Okay, that's the regular season, but who was the MVP of the whole postseason? Wouldn't you say it's got to be Nick Foles? Seriously. Who was the MVP of the postseason?
They don't get that award away.
Okay, but I'm just saying, when I step back, I say, how do you take that away from him?
Easy. Because the starter is Carson Wentz. You moved heaven and the earth to move up in the draft to select him. And now you're going to talk about after 2 2 great playoff games.
I'm going to say it again. Carson Wentz could not have played as well as Nick Foles played with the poise and precision.
Did you watch him the whole year?
I watched him the whole year, and he's deer in the headlights.
33 and 7.
How could you be leading MVP candidate or one of the leading MVP candidates if you do the headlights?
He had new weapons. The offensive line was just crushing for him. He got the 2 new running backs that he didn't have.
The same what Nick Foles had.
Okay.
You know, he still had that same offensive line, those same running backs, and those same
Did you
receivers.
see the poise with which Nick Foles threw the ball in the Super Bowl against Belichick's defense? 41 points? Here's what's going to happen. First home game next year, Carson Wentz is probably going to be the starter.
Thursday night.
Yeah, Thursday night. And he's going to throw an interception. And you know what you're going to start to hear up in the stands? We want Foles.
But he's going to have
Foles.
5 touchdowns.
Yeah,
he's going to have 5 touchdowns with the 1 interception.
5-1 to be good.
We want Foles. We want Foles.
No, you
want Foles.
See, what you want is you want controversy. You want chaos to help your Cowboys.
No, I get where he's going. He's a hometown boy, so he's rooting for the hometown boys where it is because he knew all his high school stats. But he's a backup quarterback in this league.
He is not a backup.
Yeah, he is.
61 to 29. Do you know how rare that is in this
How many
league?
wins he got?
It's pretty good. It's pretty good.
Yeah. Well, he's backing up one of the best.
Yeah.
One of the best.
Yeah,
one of the most unproven best.
No, Skip, don't do
He
that.
had one hot year. Did you see him his rookie year? Were you?
Did you see Peyton Manning's rookie year?
Yeah, I did.
So
He led the
it
league in
compares.
interceptions. He led.
John Elway's rookie year?
Yeah.
You know, John lined up under the guard.
Did you see Dak Prescott's rookie year?
Yeah, did you see his
It was
second year?
all-time
Did you see
great.
Did you see Dak's second year?
Wait a second. How about the rookie year?
What did Stephen Jones say? We got to make it more friendly. We need him to have more improvisational skills, Skip.
I'll take Dak Prescott long-term over Carson Wentz
You
any
crazy.
day, any night.
You out your mind right there.
It's going to be Carson, W-I-N-C-E.
All of it.
That's what it's going to be.
All of it. You know,
Wentz.
all your mind. You bumped your head.
You out your mind.
No,
The Philly fans going to attack you.
No, watch. Just watch and
Stop
learn.
hoping.
No, I'm not hoping.
Yeah, you are.
I know what's going to happen.
No, you don't.
Nick Foles is sitting behind that kid. I feel sorry for this kid.
I
Carson
don't.
Wentz.
Because he's going
You wanna
to
talk
beat
about
the brakes
weight
off
of the
Dallas.
world on your shoulder
For the
pads?
next 10 years, his record will probably be like 14-6 against the
You don't
Cowboys.
think he's going to press next year?
No. Why should he?
I got the Super Bowl MVP. When has this ever happened in the history of this league that the Super Bowl MVP is the backup quarterback for a second-year kid who's going into his third year? When has it ever happened? Ever.
When it happened, did it happen with the Giants with the
Hostetler left, went to Oakland.
Oh, that's the only difference. I don't know, but that's
We've never had a situation like this before.
Yep.
Normally,
Well-
the guy doesn't get hurt like this. Wentz got hurt. Nick Foles did what a good
What happened
backup.
when he got hurt? He stepped right on the field. What happened on 3rd and 8 that game against the Rams right here in Los Angeles? What happened?
Wentz had already thrown
Nick
for
Foles.
Nick Foles. Wentz had already thrown for a touchdown. Threw a touchdown on a torn AC and LCL.
Yeah. Did Nick Folds, F-O-L-D-S? He never folded.
No.
He never folded.
And what did Wentz do to the Cowboys on that Sunday night?
They were decimated.
He did it.
Yeah,
he decimated them.
He trailed at halftime.
Detonated them.
He trailed at
We gotta
halftime.
leave it there. Brian, thanks for joining us.
No mercy.
After Dez Bryant was released by the Cowboys last week, he blamed, quote, Garrett guys for the move, which was believed to include the team's captains. Former Cowboy great Michael Irvin said Dez even complained to him about Garrett guys. Irvin also said Dez was too much of a, quote, fighter for the Cowboys and even fought with people trying to help him, which led to his release. One of the alleged Garrett guys, Jason Witten, addressed the situation yesterday. Let's take a listen.
So many great plays, so many great memories, and many days and evenings were spent on talking about routes and technique and the passion that he showed. So it was an emotional day for all of us.
Disappointing, though, that he blames Garrett guys and captains for playing a role in his departure.
Yeah, I don't know what all that's about. You know, I think I know when you go through these processes, there's a lot of things that probably go into it, but I know I enjoyed my time with Dez, and I think that I appreciated everything that we were able to do. Certainly invested a lot in him, and he helped me become a better player too. And so I appreciate that time together. And look, I being the captain, and it's a huge honor for me and so many other guys, and I know what those guys' character is all about, and there's really nothing there.
Shannon, how much did Witten have to do with Dez's release?
Now, Skip, this is not the first time we've had a receiver say that they're Garrett's guys. Now, the only guy that's still there on the offensive side of the football that when T.O. was there is who, Skip? So even if he didn't say the name, one can deduce
Yep.
If two receivers have said it, but here's where it gets brushed aside is that look at the receivers that we're talking about. Both could easily be viewed as malcontents. Skip, I don't believe Jason Witten had anything to do with this. It's hard for me to believe a player that's a non-quarterback can have another player ousted from a roster. It's just hard for me to believe that. I'm sure there were times when I was catching 13 or 10 balls, Ed and Rod probably thought I was a John guy. It happens. And for Michael Irvin to use the term a fighter's mentality, Skip, this is how it works. When you work with people and you work for someone, there's a decorum that you need to follow. Even in the testosterone-driven field of pro sports and the machismo macho of NFL football, Skip, you just can't, things are not going your way, lash out at people. You can't do that. I get it. The emotion is so raw, it's so hard for Dez to grasp. But it is so easy to blame others when things are not going right in your life. I just wonder how many times did Dez cut the tape on and watch and say, man, that's a bull jive route. Man, this is terrible release. Man, I got to give better effort on this dig out block. How many times, Skip, does Dez ask himself, what did he do wrong? Because it's easy to blame others when things are going wrong in our life. But what did he do wrong? Stop making these excuses for Dez. Dez, they left you at the exact same salary. In 2015, you got the new contract in 15. Your production slipped in 15, they left you alone. Yep. Your production slipped in 16, they left you alone. Your production was down in 2017 and they said bye-bye. I don't get it. Stop taking these pot shots and just move on. I don't get why you discussing, look, it's, maybe I'm just wired different, Skip. I'm wired different than these guys now. They're talking about this guy's fault, is that guy's fault. It's just hard for me to believe that Jason Witten had something to do with Dez Bryant being on that team. It had everything to do with Dez Bryant's production. Is his production down? Well, and Dez is looking at it like this. Jason Witten's production hasn't been up in a very long time. Cole Beasley was down. Terrence Williams was down. But they ain't have to give no money back. But Skip, stop blaming others. You could have made this moot if you go out there and ball like you believe you still can.
Yep.
We're not having this discussion, Skip.
No. So, I said yesterday, and now I'm going to say it even more strongly, I am mystified by how Garrett guys got a Garrett guy. Dez is a Garrett guy.
Yeah.
Trust me. 1/4 of the balls thrown last year by Dak Prescott went to 88. 1/4 of the offense went to him, the passing game. That's a lot of passing.
Yeah.
So let's just compare Dez to, let's do Jason Witten. So last year, Dez had 132 targets to Jason Witten's 87 targets. Well, Jason Witten is kind of a comfort blanket, you know, like he's a security
It's not like
blanket.
he's going way downfield, Skip. He's right there close to the line of scrimmage.
So it's easy to target him
Correct.
a lot. So 132 to 87, except Dez caught 52% of his 132 targets. Jason Witten caught 72% of his 87 targets. So production.
Yeah.
Okay. So one guy was catching a whole lot of his balls, the right number of his balls. The other guy was really hurting you because you kept going to that well and it was a dry well.
Right.
52% of those balls were caught. So I'm mystified over a guy, and again, I know a lot of Dallas Cowboys, a lot of ex-Dallas Cowboys, and all I ever heard was that Jason Witten went out of his way to mentor Dez, to big brother Dez, that he liked Dez. He liked his fight.
Yeah.
He liked what he was made of. And there was that classic game back in 2013. You might remember this one because it was a classic. Brandon Yu's car, his first year with the Cowboys, was attempting to cover Megatron in Detroit as Megatron was going for a grand total of 329, which became the second most yards any receivers ever had in a single game to Flipper Anderson's, 336?
330. Yeah, 336.
Right? So during that game, Dallas blew a lead of 27-17 with 4 minutes left in the game, and Detroit wound up winning game 31-30. And the classic footage on the sideline was Dez is throwing a tantrum about God knows what, and Jason goes over and just grabs him and says, "Just look at the scoreboard. Look what's happened." It said 31-30 with the clock ticking down, and he was trying to say, "Hey, it's okay. It doesn't matter. We just need to try to win the game. Right. You'll be okay. Right. Don't worry about you. Worry about us." That was a vintage shot of Jason Witten. And again, does Jason Witten have his flaws and faults? I'm sure he does. Yeah. Not over-defending him, but he's a really good football player and has been for a long time. Now let's go back to the classic T.O. episode. So Terrell, also lashing out, decided that Tony Romo was throwing too many balls to his boy. And again, a very close friend of his, and the wife and girlfriend were very close also. Remember, they went to Cabo together. Right. Remember that in those days? So Terrell went public with the fact, I think Romo's throwing too many balls to Jason Witten. Right. And Terrell went to, we got another Todd Haley reference here. He pops back up in the conversation because at this point he was the Cowboys receivers coach. Right. And Terrell went to complain to Todd Haley, and they got in a shouting match over this that allegedly almost came to, you know how Todd Haley is. He wants to fight too. So the story I was told by an eyewitness Dallas Cowboy was that afternoon, Terrell Owens walked onto the practice field and Jason Witten marched right over to him and said, "Let's settle this right here, right now," as in, let's just go. Let's just throw down right here. And I've asked Terrell about this twice on live TV, and he did not deny that it happened, but my eyewitness said Terrell wanted no part of Jason Witten.
Skip, here's the thing I have a problem with. So was Jason Witten on the roster, Skip, in 2013 when Dez had 1,300 yards?
Okay, you didn't respond to my story about Jason Witten.
Skip, let me tell you about this here, Skip. Jason Witten didn't want those kind of problems. Now, you heard about what happened in the story in Philly. He goes to a different place.
Who?
T.O.
Yeah.
Skip, listen to me, Skip. Now, I bull jive a lot, and I shuck and jive and talk about guys throwing up. Listen to me. I'm going to take my glasses off, Skip, because I want you to be 100%. Jason Witten did not want those kinds of problems with that young man. He's a different animal, Skip. When he goes there.
Wait, who's a different animal?
T.O.
T.O., yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
You heard the story about what happened in Philly. It was not pretty. I've been around T.O. and I talked to him, and he's a guy, Skip. If you're in his corner, you'll always be in his corner. But if he ever feel that you slighted him or wronged him, you will have a problem with him. Skip, I don't know Jason that well, and he strikes me as a guy that he is. He'll try to help you. He'll try to give you his laugh. He didn't want those kind of problems with T.O. And the thing was, Skip, he felt that because Tony Romo and Jason Witten were roommates, that they were working on plays secretly that was not in the game plan. And then T.O. was like, hold on, we didn't practice that. How? What? And so T.O. goes to Todd Haley trying to voice it. Well, Todd Haley bucks up. Come on, Skip. Now, Todd Haley had a run-in with Anquan Bolden.
He did.
Now you know Q. If you can't get along with Q, you can't get along with nobody.
That is a fact.
If you can't get along with him, T.O. is a type of guy. If you confront him, you know what he's going to do, Skip. So for me, I don't know if there's any truth. There's been two receivers that have voiced said Jason Witten is a Garrett guy. Okay, be that as it may, I do not believe that Jason Witten, I don't care if he's the brother-in-law to Jason Garrett. I don't believe he could have got Dez off that team. The only person that could have got Dez off that team is one man, Skip, and he's made it abundantly clear. The buck stops with me.
Yep.
That's Jerry Jones.
Yep,
Skip,
I agree.
if Jerry wanted Dez on that roster, because I can assure you, when they saw that decline in production, they've gone to Jerry before this year and says his production is declining, Dad. His production is declining, boss. And Jerry left his salary alone.
I just want to make it clear. From what I know of Jason Witten, and I don't know him well, but I know a lot about him from a lot of people. He is not the kind of guy who will smile to your face and stab you in the back. I think he's straight up what he is.
Right.
He'll tell you if he has an issue with you, and if you have an issue with him and you push it too far, he's the kind of guy who'll say, okay, that's enough. Let's just go at it
I think the thing is that Tony had a comfort level with Jason Witten. And most of the quarterbacks that's been in Dallas has had a comfort level.
Well, he's a pretty good player.
Yeah,
he's only made 8 Pro Bowls.
Yeah,
11 Pro Bowls. I'm sorry, 11 Pro Bowls.
You don't catch all those balls.
Yeah.
You don't play as long as he does and be as productive as he does without being a damn good football player.
Yeah.
Oh, well, also without having a relationship with your quarterback.
Yes. Skip. You don't think great combinations? Antonio Brown has a great rapport. Most combinations have. You don't think Gronk has a great rapport with Tom Brady?
Yeah, he does.
Exactly.
But we all know what this came down to. I mean, look at Dez and Jason Witten's numbers from last year. Dez had 66 receptions, 814 yards, 6 touchdowns. Jason Witten had 63 catches, 560 yards, 5 touchdowns. Yeah, but it's completely comparable. The difference is Dez was making $13 million and Jason Witten was making $7.4.
But it's sad, though. But I've never seen a guy that gets released and it's caused this hubbub and it's blamed everybody else. Players on the team.
I mean, Jason Witten should be flattered. He has a lot more power around Dallas than he thought he did.
Skip, that, you know what? That C on his chest bothers Dez a lot more than we previously thought.
Yeah.
I mean, that might have been the worst thing that could have happened.
Maybe.
Because, normally you see guys, okay, that's the captain, you go out there for the coin toss. And a lot of teams send different guys out there. They send the offensive player of the week or the defensive player of the week and special teams player of the week out for the coin toss.
That's true.
But now we got that C.
Yep.
And Dez, he's like, hold on. Dude, I've been here 9 years. I've been here 8 years.
Yep.
This dude just got here. He got the C. But they're trying to tell you something,
By the
Dez.
way, this morning I started looking at Jason Witten's career numbers versus Shannon Sharp's. He's in the Hall of Fame. And they're like, wait, do you realize how you trail Jason so far? He's caught 2,388 more yards of passes than you caught.
And how many more passes he caught to me?
337.
So how many more touchdowns he got to me?
6.
6 touchdowns.
Yeah.
With 330-something more passes. Huh, Joy? Now, if you don't mind me asking, that you go down there to the playoff side.
I don't have the playoffs. I just
Why you ain't got that?
I didn't look that far.
I thought you liked playoffs.
I didn't think it was going to come
I thought you liked playoff football.
No mercy. Our next guest is one of the best cornerbacks in the NFL. He led the league with 7 interceptions in 2016 and made the Pro Bowl the last 2 seasons. Pro Football Focus ranked his 2017 season as the best for a cornerback since Darrelle Revis in 2009. From the L.A. Chargers, Casey Hayward, welcome to Undisputed.
Joy, you left out one key detail.
It ain't no key detail.
Allow me to note that Casey Hayward attended Vanderbilt University, as did I, and I want him to know how proud I am and we are of his success in the National Football League. And I want my partner across the table, who often ridicules Vanderbilt football, to know that Casey Hayward is one of 10 Vanderbilt players who played in the National Football League last year, and 9 of them were starters. How do you figure that, Shannon Sharp?
Every athlete that comes on Undisputed, I want you to know, Skip Bayless did something he never does. He normally goes in the back, have a swig of dew, and comes back out here. But the entire break, he was talking to Casey Hayward.
Because he is my man. And he's from my school.
Oh, okay.
And he was telling me how much he loves to go back to Nashville, Tennessee.
Yeah, I go back at least 2-3 times a year.
Yeah, there you go, Shannon. We got pride.
I mean, you like country music that much?
I love Nashville. I love my school. I'm proud, alum, glad to be there. Every time Skip mentions Vanderbilt, I'd be happy. So I'd be retweeting every time he say anything about Vanderbilt.
He's got on a little black and gold there. Right?
You feel me?
Like that?
I understand going to Vanderbilt. You got to go somewhere and play football.
It's okay.
Hold on. Where you went to school?
Alabama.
He did not go to Alabama.
Where
You like
I went to
Savannah
State.
And by the way,
man.
this
State.
is a Georgia man right here from Perry, Georgia, near Macon.
Oh, Macon.
So,
Yeah. What high school you went to? Southwest?
Nah. Oh, that's in Macon. I went to Perry High School.
Y'all were terrible.
Southwest was terrible.
Y'all were terrible too. Perry was terrible.
I was good.
No, I'm at school.
Speaking of good, Joy.
Yes, I just read the stats. So do you think you're the best corner in the NFL?
It's facts. That's all facts. The last 2 years, my numbers speak for themselves. It's some people that can, just like to talk, and some people that's close to being the best people, and some people that just fall off that just said. But my stats speak for themselves. I've been playing at a high level the last 2 years. And, like, throughout my career, even when I was in Green Bay, I've been playing pretty well. But the last 2 years, I've just been solidifying my name and solidifying my, my status. And in the last 2 years, I feel like I've been the best corner.
What changed?
Surrounding. I think being with, the Chargers, it just helped me get a clear mind. I didn't have to hold back. I could be myself and everything there. So, and then they just let me be me, play outside, and not just say, hey, you one player, you're a nickel, slash, things like that. And I've just been corner, since the last 2 years, and I've just been able to flourish.
Allow me to point out that in his rookie year with the Green Bay Packers as a second-round pick, Pro Football Focus rated his performances as the best nickel performance of the whole year in the NFL. So he was the slot corner, but he was the best slot corner. Then he goes to the Chargers. In this past season, he had the best single, by Pro Football Focus rating, cornerback season that we've seen since Darrelle Revis in 2009. That's a lot. That's 9 years worth of best cornerback play ever. And Pro Football Focus also, unfortunately for me as a Cowboy fan, ranked your game at Dallas on Thanksgiving at Jerry World as the single best cornerback game of the whole year.
Yeah, I pretty much did my thing.
You locked him up, huh? Go ahead and ask him. I know you want to ask him about the guy he was covering. Go ahead and ask him about that.
That guy, 88 for Dallas. What'd you think of him that day?
Dez? Oh, he's a pretty good player.
He's a pretty good player. That's about all.
I'm pretty good, so it was a matchup. We went head-to-head, and I think I won that battle.
So when you go into a game and you play, and give us the scouting report on Dez Bryant.
For me, when I was watching the film, I said, you got to take away his slants, and you got to beat him on his 50-50 balls, because that's what he's really good at. And that's what I went into the game and said, let me take away his slants and compete on his 50-50 balls.
Skip, what's a slant considered? In-breaking route. 50-50 ball, back shoulder, because you're not worried about him running by you.
Nah,
he ain't running by you. They're going to throw it back, stop, the fade stop.
What he's good at is going up and get the ball. So if you can go out there and contest him and, fight him down on the ball. He's still a good player, don't get me wrong, but that game I went in there with my mind locked in. It was a Thanksgiving game.
You knew everybody watching.
I knew everybody watching.
Yeah.
I think that might have just helped me solidify my, my Pro Bowl All-Pro for that year. Everybody watched. After that, everybody was hitting me up like, hey, you played good and things like that.
So how much do you feel like Dez has lost as a wide receiver?
You know what? I've played Dez twice. Once when I was in Green Bay. He was a really good player then. I didn't really get to match up on him that game. But
which game was it?
I think the one that we won in the playoffs.
That was 2014.
That was
the one he didn't catch.
It was definitely a catch.
The one he didn't catch.
Right.
But that's the one. But that was on Sam Shields, I think.
Sam incompletion.
I don't think so. But go ahead.
Yeah. But other than that,
did you have Dez in that game at all?
No, I didn't. Nah.
Because you were mainly in the slot.
Yeah, I was in the slot. But this year, I thought I think he ran the routes well. I think, just him and Dak wasn't on the same page on certain routes and things like that. But that's inside the game, and that takes with time. And Dak's second year, and Dez, he's a veteran, so he needs one. I feel like he needs one of those quarterbacks that he can just connect with, and I think the sky's the limit for him because I still think he can play the game at a high level.
How good can the Chargers be next year?
Really good.
Like Super Bowl good?
I think we could be. You know what? It's hard to say Super Bowl. We want to win a division first, get to the playoffs, and then if you're in the playoffs, everybody's up. Then it don't even matter as long as you get in. I think we're right here to get over that hump. We was one game away. We can't start off the season 0-4.
Well, your kicker can't miss kicks.
Yeah, you can't miss kicks, but throughout the game, the offense and defense can do it. We could do it. We could do a little better, especially 0-4. We started 0-4. We could start off 4-0 this year and get everything going and get over that hump.
Which team do you fear the most in the division?
We just got to worry about ourselves. Of course, if you look inside the division, you go Kansas City. Just because they've won the division the last couple of years. So you got to go Kansas City. They have some weapons. They got a quarterback.
Well, they added some people. They got a brand new quarterback.
Yeah, but he got a cannon.
He's got a cannon.
He got a cannon. And they added Sammy.
Yeah.
They added some play. They got Kelsey. They got Hill. Oh, man. they got some weapons. Oh, in the back, you got Hunt.
Yeah.
But then you still got Oakland and the Denver that's going to have good teams as well.
Yeah.
Our division is going to be tough.
Casey got something for y'all.
Oh, now you're a
and you add
Case
Casey,
fan.
you add Casey. You add Casey with
DT, Emmanuel, yep.
He'll pick him 2 or 3 times.
That's my plan.
No, it ain't going to happen.
I hope so.
It ain't happen.
So-
2-0 against y'all in the division this year.
So is
When last year?
This year, we're going to do it this year.
2-0?
Yeah, we're going to sweep them.
You will not?
Man.
Sweep them.
You want to put something on that right now? Okay.
Man.
Sweep them?
Oh, man.
I got that. What do you want to put on it?
DT going to get 100 on him, too.
DT?
Yep.
Demaryius Thomas?
Yeah,
He's
DT,
like 38 years old.
Don't worry about it.
Nah, DT a good player.
He going to get 100.
He a really good player. Hold on, nah. I ain't gonna. I said he a good player. I ain't gonna say he gonna get 100 on me. He's a good player though.
I said it.
You want a quick case of do on the game here against the Chargers?
The one in Denver first.
Huh? I'm not going to do that. You said 2-0.
Yeah, you just said 2.
Come on.
Got to win both, no matter what.
Okay.
The schedule ain't even came out yet.
We might be 2. I mean, have to play y'all in the playoffs. Gonna get y'all there too. Might be 2-1, 3-0 against y'all.
Yeah. Now hold on, 2-1. They lost 1. Which one is it?
We give y'all 1, but not the one that matters.
So who's the better quarterback? Phillip Rivers, Aaron Rodgers?
Oh man, I knew that was coming. Oh man,
you can do it.
I knew that was coming.
Just be a Vanderbilt man. Just plunge.
Yeah.
Both of those my guys. That different style of quarterback, Phil in the pocket, gonna light you up. A-Rod can escape and do different things like that, and you know he's dangerous with his feet. I don't want to pick because both of those are my guys. I play with both of them. I love both of those guys. I don't want to.
How
pick.
surprised were you that they let Jordy go to your division?
I wasn't surprised. You know, it's a business. It's Green Bay. They want to get better, and they feel like that was a move they had to make to try to get better and to save money on the cap. But I think Jordy still got some left, and I see him.
I think you will see him
I
face
see him
to face.
twice for the next couple of years. So,
Bronco
Broncos.
country? Really? Case of do on 100 yards of Demaryius Thomas
Yeah, DT
against
gonna
him?
get 100 on him.
Oh
yeah.
man, let me lock in.
You lock in all you want to.
No,
DT
I'm
gonna
saying
get
I'm locked
100.
in. Okay.
Okay, we got this. At Denver for
DT,
he's got to go for 100+ yards.
Yeah, I'm gonna call
okay?
DT as soon as I get off the show.
Okay.
He watching. He watching.
I'm saying Casey was out here talking about he
We
locked
got
you up
this.
last year.
Ah man, I ain't say that, but
Yeah, you did.
I
You
ain't
said
say
it.
Hey,
So we got a case
You can throw
on
on the film.
that.
I ain't say it, but
Oh,
you
you
can throw on the film.
why we gonna throw on the film if you ain't say it?
I ain't say it, but both. He had a game. I think he had a really good game with me my first game when we played him in Denver, and then I played better when we played him in LA. So I felt like it was 1-1 for the year. So
He about to go 2-1.
man, that's not my plan. My plan is to go in here and play well every game.
Yeah.
Then Emmanuel, they're gonna take turns.
Really?
No, DT, nah, you had it last time. You hit him up for a 50-yard tug.
He's the
It's
best
my turn.
corner in football.
That's why you got to
You
go.
know what? You're about
That's
to
a
get
fact.
bandied.
That's a
what's going to
fact.
happen to you.
You've been opening a lot of bets today.
Yeah, I feel confident in the Broncos and Case Keenum.
Yeah.
Gonna do some pain to the Vanderbilt Commodores.
Then you gotta watch
stand
the
it.
Vanderbilt slander too, don't you?
Oh
Trying to get good
yeah.
there.
My daughter's trying to get in med school there.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that.
Let me know. I can hit my guy David up.
Okay,
I can
well,
hit my guy
I'll
David
do that.
David
There you
Williams
go.
up.
But I tell you what though.
Now you just can't talk. You can't talk.
Yeah, you
That's
can't
about
talk
it no
trash
more
about
now.
Vanderbilt.
Yeah, I love
If I can get that in.
Vanderbilt's
There you
good.
go.
Vanderbilt's good school.
I'm hitting my guy David Williams up.
Yeah, Vanderbilt's a good school.
Okay.
Yeah, I would love it.
Casey, thanks for joining us. Thanks for listening to the Undisputed Podcast. I'm Joy Taylor. Join us again at 9:30 a.m. Eastern on Monday for another full week of Undisputed. We'll see you then.
Fox Sports 1 of 1.